r/entitled parents. How my boyfriend helped me get out of a toxic family. Posted by u/jasonque. Please go easy on critiquing me lol. First time posting, on mobile, the usual hullabaloo tongue poking smiley, you know the cast. Also, this will run a bit long. I apologize in advance if it sounds more like a rant / not as focused on the entitled parent. If you need more clarification, I'll gladly add and edit. TLDR at the bottom. From when I was born, I never knew what my dad looked like. I grew up with my mom in Indonesia up until I was 8ish. When I was 8 or so, my dad, who was in the US, was able to help get mom and me together by an immigration policy, Clinton, I think, essentially saying that if you're a US citizen, you can bring your family. After a long journey, we met up at the airport, and that was the first time seeing my dad. I was happy, I saw new sights, and it was a new life for our family. Fast forward to a couple years later, I remember the time where I got a test wrong in class and the teacher ended up assigning me homework to study. I had dad help me, which was normal. But what made me upset initially was that he got upset all too quickly. He looked over my work and shook his head. Dialogue will not be exact, but this is as close as I remember. Ed, that's wrong. Me, how? I thought I did it right. Ed, do it again. And with that, he proceeded to erase my answers and had me start over. I already worked an hour on my homework, and I was tired. It was late at night, and I didn't want to continue. I put the pencil down and said I was going to sleep. Oh, he didn't take any of it. He shoved the pencil in my hand and told me to write. I got angry as any 10-year-old could, and said no, I kid you not. He slapped my hand hard, pencil dropped to the floor. I was about to start crying. He then told me to pick up the pencil, which I didn't want to do, then he yelled at me to pick it up. So I did. He slaps the pencil out of my hand again. He told me to pick it up. Repeat. Maybe 4 or 5 times. Afterwards, he proceeded to tell me how ungrateful I was for not being happy that he wanted to help me with my homework and that I should just go to sleep. I went to bed crying that night. After that incident, I became more and more afraid of Richard, not his real name. Plus I stopped thinking of him as a dad as of last year. This was the start of a downhill father-son relationship. Over the years, he kept belting me over stupid things and even for no reason at all. One I remember was when I was 15ish and I got a C in my math class. Math wasn't my strong suit. Ed, how come you got a low score in math again? Me, it's not low. It's still passing. Ed, so you're settling. How could you? After all I taught you. Me, Dad, I'm not being ungrateful. I'm not good at math and I'm happy that I passed. Please just leave me alone about it, okay? Mega slap on face. Dad, I'm calling your teacher. You're failing classes and now you're just being rude. I'm the parent here, not you. Whatever rules I make, you follow. No questions asked. Go to your room. Me, leave me alone. I will call the police. I'm sick of you and your hard-headed self. This started World War III. He pulled out his belt and chased me around the house just to take his anger out. I may have been aggressive in response, but I have no regrets. He kept belting me like no tomorrow, and there was a couple times where he turned the belt over and hit me with the buckle side. I didn't know what to do but scream bloody murder, and I kept taking the abuse. He wouldn't stop, no matter what. Mom's justification was, it's your dad. I can't help you. So now I have no mom to help, no siblings, at the time, and an abusive dad. Both physically and mentally. It was the last straw when I was 17. Richard and I kept arguing about being gay. I came out to my mom, but I didn't quite come out to dad yet. Guess why? My point was, there's no wrong in being gay, but there's every wrong in you condemning people to hell. So you're gay. If you are and you come into my house with a boy, I will kill you. Me, you know what, fuck you. I'm so sick of you, I'm sick of your abuse, I'm sick of you constantly being stubborn. You're not open to listening, and you don't care at all about me. Ed, excuse me. I don't listen. I abuse you. I am your dad. I am the head of the house and I get to tell you what is right and what is wrong. You can't and will not have an opinion under my roof. Until I'm dead, you're always going to be under me. Me, what are you going to do? Hit me. Go ahead. Hit me. I dare you. I kept screaming at him and he grabbed the metal broomstick nearby and hit me with the strength of a baseball player. I stumbled, caught myself, screamed more, and punched his gut. We broke out into a fist fight. It took Mom yelling in my face to stop. I had little respect for her, but I had zero respect for Richard. This was it. I wanted to move out but I had no money. In September of 2017, I met my boyfriend online. We kept chatting and I fell in love pretty darn quick. Christmas of that year, I flew over to see him. My parents were upset because it was the first time we had Christmas without me. So it was just them and my 3 siblings. Christmas was the best week I ever had with my boyfriend. I met his family, I saw new sights, and I loved every bonding moment I had with him. His family was so open to loving me. His mom was a true mom, lol. She kept momming me and him. Christmas Eve, I cried. I didn't want him to see but he did and asked me why I was crying. I said I never really had a mom or a dad. I feel safer here. He kept hugging me and eventually we both fell asleep. Christmas morning, he woke me up and tried to get me out of bed. I said I wanted to tell him something but I didn't know how. We both knew what it was, but didn't want to make a move. Eventually, I asked to marry him. And he said yes. All the stores were closed Christmas Day so we went ring shopping the next day. We ended up having a long-drawn engagement. At the end of my week-long visit, we drove up to his apartment to pack up a few extra things and rest before driving to the airport, 2 hours away. I started to get emotional, and he kept asking me what's wrong. I kept hiding my face but he kept asking and turning me towards him. I couldn't hold it in so I busted out and cried for hours. I told him how safe I felt with him and that I don't want to go back home. I don't want to stay there anymore. He comforted me and said it's going to be okay. Tearing up while typing, this was an important step in my life, and in the very long story. We packed up, and drove to the airport. He held my hand the entire way, and played some of his favorite Ella Fitzgerald songs. At the airport, I kept looking back towards him from the security line. He hugged me tight and said fly away, Jay. It means a lot to me. Another long story. We kept looking at each other until I couldn't see him anymore. I started crying again. Arriving at my home airport, my coworker picked me up because Dad decided that work was more important than plans I made weeks beforehand. I came home, and Mom just said hi. And asked for help with dishes. She didn't ask how my trip went, who I saw, what I did. When Dad came home that night, he didn't talk to me. We never talked for months unless it was a necessity. Over the next few months, I kept saving up money to move. I also took more of the emotional abuse, that I am your parent and that I know more than you. You're not smart enough. There were times even, when he drafted money from my savings, joint account, because I didn't need the money and he needed it more than I did. Fast forward to end of May, I officially resigned my job, cried with co-workers, and said my goodbyes. I decided to leave when my parents were out on Memorial Day vacation. I picked up my boyfriend at the airport, and we went home and packed. I didn't say goodbye to my parents, but I did say goodbye to my church and close friends. I got tears, hugs, and everything. Couple of days later, we left together. The instant I turned off the main road and onto the freeway, I said in the car, this is it. Yeah, it's a new start, my boyfriend replied. I left behind my family, my beloved rabbit, rest in peace, and most of my emotional ties and baggage. To this day, I'm struggling with PTSD, emotional distress, heavy depression, and anxiety. I can't look at adults arguing, I can't get yelled at, and I hate it when people order me around, even if it's unintentional. And every time I think of my parents, I get really upset. I blocked their numbers, and cut off all contact completely. I can't interact with people well and I can't go to social events. It makes me anxious. I'm still working on fixing myself, but I'm glad now I'm not alone. TLDR, I met someone strong enough to carry me out of my depression so I can leave my poisonous family and start a new life. Revisioner, thank you so much for all the love. It really is making my day. Sorry if I didn't reply to your comment, there's quite a lot. For those of you still wondering, don't worry. I am much better and far better than I ever was a year ago. I had heavy depression and anxiety then, but I rarely feel them now. It's people like you who helped me throughout my journey in life, making it brighter every day. I appreciate it. Also, I have chosen not to pursue legal actions against Richard. Majority being, I still care for my sisters. I don't want mom to have to raise them and my brother herself. I don't want to be the cause of breaking up my family. I'll leave that role to Richard, if it ever goes there. As much as I'd love to see him jailed, he is still a father to 3 other kids. My friends who came from single-parent homes constantly tell me of how they wished they had a mom or dad. I don't want my siblings to experience the same thing as they did. I did, however, tell my sister that if things go too bad, go get help. Don't let the name of parent get to you. Revision B, a person wanted to give me platinum and another, gold, but couldn't. I told them both, it's the thought that counts. So thank you both. Revision C, much thanks to the person that gave me the gold award. And thank you continuously for all the love you guys are giving for me. I truly wholeheartedly appreciate it. Revision D, thank you for the second gold. Revision E, formatting tweaks. Revision F, 2 silvers, both within a minute of each other LOL. Thank you, kind souls. Revision G, wow, you guys. Thank you all for your love and support. Thank you. Revision H, thank you /pro clarinetist for the ASCII art of a medal. Revision I, thank you for the platinum. Revision J, thanks for the ASCII gold. Thank you for listening, my children. Please leave a like and subscribe and ring my bell sack to stay updated with my videos as they come out. Love you, bye.